Hi, I'm Ashley with God's Country Archery. Over the past few weeks, or months actually, I've been working on a product with Saunder's Archery to help improve the old factory string stops. And not that there's anything wrong with the factory string stops, but Saunder's produced a Vudu, which is a very good product, and I've shown you guys some pictures of it, but I haven't really taken any opportunity to tell you how it works. So I figured instead of trying to write up a huge article about how it works, I would just simply throw a video up and show you what we're working with. So I have a couple of bows with me. This is the Impulse 31, and if you look at it, the Impulse 31 has already got the Saunder's Vudu installed on it. Now this is the Elite version. So the Elite version of the Saunder's Vudu is, I took a carbon graphite rod and I've attached the Saunder's to the end of it, and what this does is it makes it a direct slide on into the riser of the Impulse. So you got the same style carbon rod as what came on it from the factory. You simply loosen two screws, set screws, one here, you slide it out, you put this in place of your factory string stop. Originally the Vudu was sold in a whole kit where it had some mounting brackets that came down of aluminum and different adapters for different risers. And in working with Rita and Chuck and their R&D team, we was able to put this together and offer it specifically for Elite bows. And it'll come in two lengths based on the riser height. So whether you're dealing with a 6-inch brace height or 7-inch brace height, that determines the length of this rod. So I'll take a minute to explain exactly how this thing works. So right here we have my son Joseph Carpenter's Energy 35. If you take a look at it, it has the factory string stop on it, and we just haven't had a chance to put the Vudu on his, and so we're going to do that today. So here's what happens with a factory string stop, or with any string stop with this kind of design. When the string impacts the string stop, it will actually vibrate back and forth off of this string stop until it comes to its resting position. This causes a couple of things. It adds vibration to the bow, and it also adds noise. And you can feel it every time you fire. You can feel that slap, and you can feel the vibration. Now, you really wouldn't know this vibration was here until you compare it to once you put the Vudu on it. And it is a complete change in how the bow feels. It's dead in your hand, the vibration is gone, and the bow is extremely silent. And I'll show that to you in a second. All right, so let me show you how the Vudu works. So the Vudu is put together in a couple of pieces. There's the housing, which is this piece right here. And all it does is it houses this plunger. The plunger slides in the Vudu housing just like this, and it can actually work up and down. And here's the function of how this thing works. So basically now, when the string comes to a stop position against the string stop, the Vudu actually grabs it, locks it in, and does not allow the string to come back out of the stop. So if you zoom in here real close quick, I can show. There's a little notch right here inside the Vudu. The string sits down in this notch. When the Vudu comes down, it captures the string and it does not allow it to come back out and vibrate. Stops it right in place, which takes away all the vibration and the shock directly out of the string stop. Now I want to show you how easy it is to install. Sometimes these things stick just a little bit, so if it does, you have to bear with me. You might want to come over here to this. You might bring the camera on this side for a second, and show them how to install this thing. So I'll try to turn the bow as best as I can in the vise so you can see it. As mentioned, there's a couple little set screws here. Just take the set screws and turn them out. Just like this. And just simply grab this factory string stop, give it a few little twist motions like this, and take it right out of the riser. It's that easy. Then you want to take the limb saver dampener off, which I like to have it on there. To me, you can't get enough dampening. And when you get the Saunder's Vudu, you're going to get the Vudu, and this goes around the piston housing and it keeps it moving back and forth, keeps it lubricated. So while you have it out, I just take a little bit of the Vudu and put it on the carbon right around the carbon shaft, and all that does is going to lubricate the carbon for a couple reasons. One, it's going to make it easier. I'll just do it like this. It's going to make it easier to slide this sense vibration on there. And to install the Vudu, all you're going to do is slide this thing right into the riser, just like this. Give it a little twisting motion, and when you set this thing up, you want to set it up so that this plunger is about halfway in its containment position. So if you see the two little ears on the plunger right here, I'm going to run over here and grab another Vudu. Alright, so I'm going to grab another Vudu and show you this. If you look at it, it's got the two little ears on it. And inside the containment housing, you'll see these two grooves. These ears ride in those grooves. And so when I say that you want to get it halfway, you want this little ear to be halfway right in here when the string's locked in position. So if you come back over here, you can see that my string is locked in the groove on the Vudu right here. I'm looking at my plunger. So right there's where the string's locked into the Vudu. And you can look at my plunger. My plunger is sitting all the way in the down position. So I'm just going to slide that into the riser a little bit until my plunger reaches just about halfway, maybe slightly more than halfway, enough to contain it. But you want to give that plunger travel. Just like that. And then all I do now is I look back on here and I make sure that I have it running parallel with the string, or running with the string, which I do. Then just come back around. Just tighten your set screws. Now if you're not familiar with a hex-headed Allen wrench, when you tighten any kind of set screw in a bow, or anything for that matter, once you start to feel flex in the Allen wrench, see how it's flexing here? Now the Allen wrench is not moving, but it's flexing. That tells me that set screw is plenty tight enough. If you're going past that point where you're coming into bending your Allen screws, then you're coming into a real good chance that you're going to take threads out of that riser, which is not a good idea. So it's that easy. I'm going to grab my bow here a second. I'm going to show you how this thing shoots. Alright, so I'm inside the shop, so we have a lot of echo and stuff in here. It's kind of hard to get a comparison on noise. But I'll do the best I can. It's the best lighting stuff I've got. So what I'll do is I'll take a couple of shots with the Vudu on it. I'm going to show you, what the bow sounds like with the Vudu, and then I'm going to try to zoom in. I don't have any kind of slow motion photography where I can show you how it works. But I can show you, we can zoom in on it and show you what it looks like when we take a shot. I'm just going to draw back here and just take a shot, and we'll go from there. So the bow is pretty dead silent and the air is smacking the target. I'm just going to draw back again. And I'm going to try to hold the bow in that position. Tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can notice a couple of things about my bow. We build Freedom strings here. It's an awesome string. They're super quiet anyway, and so it takes a lot of dampening based on where we place our weights for harmonic balancing. But they're pretty quiet anyway. But you couple that up with the elite version of the Saunder Vudu, and then what you end up with is a shock-free bow that is super quiet. It doesn't have all the extra weight that comes with the stock Vudu, and it's ready to slide directly into your elite rosin, whether you're with an E35, a Victory 37, Impulse 34, 31. Really makes no difference. You tell me what you need and I'm going to send it to you. I hope that helps and answers any questions, and we'll do another video soon.